Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever been, right in the middle of a conversation, maybe meeting new people or in a work meeting, just chatting, and you know exactly what you want to say in your own language, but then nothing. Your brain just sort of freezes.
Mm-hmm.
You have to translate it, think about the grammar, search for the words, and, well, by the time you figure it out, the moment's passed, the conversation moved on, you missed it.
That feeling is so common for language learners. And it points right to the core issue, really. Using thinking about English, using your native language as a filter instead of thinking in English directly.
Right, like a direct line. And that blockage, that kind of delay, it can be such a huge hurdle to feeling, truly fluent and confident. And that's exactly what this deep dive is about today. We're diving into some source material a listener shared, all focused on how to shift your brain to actually think in English for fluency.
Yeah, our mission here is to really break this down. We want to understand why that translation step slows everything down, get clear on what thinking directly in English really means, because it's probably not what you imagine, and then explore some, practical, actionable techniques from the source material you could start using pretty much straight away.
It's more than just vocab lists or grammar rules, isn't it? This is about actually rewiring how your brain handles language, making English feel faster, more automatic. Yeah, more native-like. We're going to tackle that frustrating, why can't I just speak feeling, define what this mental shift looks like, and then get into the proven ways to make it happen. The goal is to just communicate without the translation detour.
Right. And the source material really sets up the problem well at the beginning. Imagine someone asks you a simple question in English, like, so what do you like doing in your free time?
Yeah.
Now, if your brain's stuck in that translation loop, it goes through this whole series of mental gymnastics before you even think about answering.
Okay, so you hear the English question, then you mentally translate it into your native language. Got it. Then you think of your answer in your native language. Okay. Then you try translating that answer back into English.
Exactly. And that's where it often gets sticky, right? You start worrying, is this grammar okay? What's that word again? How does the sentence even go?
Oh, man. You're potentially going through, 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 distinct mental steps. Hearing, translating the question, thinking in native, translating the answer, grammar check, word recall, pronunciation check.
Before you even open your mouth.
7 steps just to say, I like reading. That sounds absolutely exhausting.
It is. It's a huge mental load, especially in a real conversation where you need to be quick. The source material calls it a mental traffic jam, which is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't just slow you down. It messes up the natural rhythm, the flow of English. You might pick words that are technically right, but sound kind of clunky together.
Yeah, or sentences that feel stiff because you're basically mapping them from your native language structure. Those pauses, the hesitation, they break the connection.
But the good news, and that this is really key from the material, is that thinking in English isn't some magic power you're born with.
Oh.
It's described as a skill. And like any skill, playing guitar, riding a bike, whatever, it can be learned. It can be improved with practice.
Right, like training a muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the next big question the source tackles. What does it actually mean to think in English? Because, again, it's probably not about suddenly having zero thoughts in your native language or narrating your life out loud constantly.
Yeah, that sounds intense. The source material makes that clearer, thankfully. Thinking in English is basically about processing information directly in English.
Yes, precisely. When you see something, an object, your brain connects it straight to the English word. You feel an emotion, you attach the English description, you have an idea, a plan, you sort of formulate it using English words and structures right from the get-go. No need for that native language middleman.
Think about that sunny day example. If you're translating, you see the sun, you think, oh, it's sunny in your language, and then you kind of stumble trying to translate it, maybe ending up with something awkward.
Mm-hmm. But if you're thinking directly, you walk outside, Feel the warmth, see the sky, and your brain just goes, ah, nice sunny day. The input triggers the English thought directly. No detour.
It's like how a musician plays without thinking, okay, now the C chord. Fingers here, here, and here. They just play it.
Right.
Or how a native speaker sees the color blue and just thinks blue. They aren't translating that color to their word for blue and then to the English word. It's just blue. That's the goal, that kind of automatic link.
So the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
How do we train our brains to do that? And the source material doesn't leave us hanging, which is good.
Yeah.
It dives into some really practical techniques. I think it outlines 7 core strategies you can start weaving into your day.
Okay, 7 strategies. The first one sounds maybe the simplest, but the source says it's incredibly powerful. Name everything around you, like constantly, silently in your head.
Yeah, just describe your environment. Looking at your desk right now. Okay, laptop, coffee mug, notebook, pen. Walking down the street. Tall building, green tree, busy street, red car. This constant mental labeling builds those direct links between English words and the physical stuff around you. And a great tip here. If you hit something you don't know the word for, look it up right then. That word's much more likely to stick because you've got a real-world connection.
Okay, makes sense. A technique number 2. Use internal monologue in English. We all have that little voice chatter going on in our heads, right?
Exactly. That inner narration. While you're doing everyday stuff, getting ready, making food, whatever, consciously try to switch that voice to English. Getting dressed. Okay, need to brush my teeth first, then get dressed. What should I wear? Thinking about dinner? Maybe I'll cook pasta tonight. Stuff like that.
Start simple, right? It makes English the default for basic self-talk. Helps you naturally use simple grammar and words you already know.
Okay, technique 3 hits that translation habit head on. Stop translating, use images instead.
So this is about training your brain to jump from the idea or the picture straight to the English word, skipping your native language word entirely. See a dog, think dog. See someone running, think running.
Exactly. The source really emphasizes visualizing the meaning or thinking about the concept, not the word, in your own language. Things like flashcards with pictures, some language apps do this well, or just consciously doing it as you look around. It builds those direct connections.
Number 4 sounds like a quick workout. Do daily 5-minute thinking sprints. Set a timer, just 5 minutes. Pick a simple topic and force yourself to think about it only in English.
Yeah, simple topics like my plans for this weekend or what I ate for breakfast, maybe something interesting I learned today. You can do it silently, talk out loud if you want, or even scribble down thoughts.
Consistency is the key here, isn't it? Doing it every day, even for a short burst, builds that mental muscle for thinking directly in English.
Definitely. Technique 5 is watch, listen, and this is crucial, imitate. Watching and listening are obviously fundamental, but imitation, especially a technique called shadowing, is highlighted as a real game changer.
Shadowing. Okay, that's where you listen to a short bit of English, like a sentence from a movie or a podcast clip, and then immediately try to repeat it out loud, copying the speed, the rhythm, the intonation as best you can.
Exactly that. Replaying and shadowing clips trains your brain to process and produce English more automatically. It helps pronunciation, builds fluency, gets you used to the natural pace. And the fourth suggests using real, authentic stuff, not just, simplified learner recordings.
Good tip. Okay, number 6 is kind of an easy win, gives you constant exposure. Change your phone and environment to English.
Yeah, set your phone language, your computer OS, social media apps, maybe even your smart speaker, all to English.
Right. It forces you to interact with English all the time, actively when you're using the devices, passively when you see notifications. It just embeds English into your daily routine.
And the 7th technique is a bit more advanced. It's designed to really test and cement your progress. Think in English during stressful or busy moments.
Okay, so when your brain's under pressure, you're rushing, you're frustrated, maybe super excited, or just tired, those are the times when your deepest language habits usually pop out, right?
Exactly. Can you keep that internal monologue going in English when you're thinking, "Oh, where are my keys? I'm going to be late."
Huh. Good question.
If you can manage to stick with English thinking when your emotions are high or you're mentally overloaded, the source suggests you're really integrating it deeply. It shows the language is becoming like an automatic operating system for your brain.
Okay, so those are the techniques. But let's be real. As you start trying these, you're definitely going to run into some bumps in the road. And the source material is great because it anticipates that. It talks about common challenges and, importantly, offers fixes.
Absolutely. One of the biggest ones people feel is, I just don't know enough words to think in English. You feel totally limited by your vocabulary.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. And the fix, according to the source, isn't needing a giant vocabulary overnight. It's more about using the simpler words you do know effectively. Native speakers use basic words for a huge chunk of their communication. So focus on learning words in context, like in phrases, chunks, and actively try using just a few new words you learn each day in your internal thinking. Fluency is using what you know quickly and naturally, not necessarily knowing every single word.
Okay, another big one.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain just keeps defaulting back to your native language, right? Even when you're trying hard to think in English.
Ugh, yes. That default setting is strong, but it can be changed. The source suggests using visual triggers, see something, immediately name it in English, only English. Use those timed exercises where translation is banned. Keep shadowing native speakers. You're soaking up their direct thought-to-speech patterns, not just sounds.
And maybe try setting up specific English zone times. Even just 15 minutes a day where you consciously decide, okay, only English thoughts now.
Good idea. What about grammar? You start thinking in English and realize, oh, wow, my inner sentences might be a mess. Worrying about perfect grammar can just freeze you up.
Yes, total paralysis potential there. The source advises prioritizing fluency over initial perfection in your internal thoughts. It's okay if your first thought is like, yesterday I go park. That raw, direct thought, it's actually a vital step. You can work on grammar separately with short exercises later. Use tools like spell check or grammar checkers after the thought, not while you're trying to form it. Progress is the goal, not perfect internal sentences from day one.
Okay, losing focus. Another classic. You start a thinking sprint, and like a minute later, your mind's wandered off to something totally different, probably in your native language.
Mm-hmm. Happens all the time. This is where those short time bursts really help. Just 2 to 5 minutes with a clear, simple prompt like, describe your morning routine. Maybe even record your thoughts. Short voice notes could help keep you on track and hear your patterns. Remove distractions. Treat it like a focused mental workout.
What about feeling awkward? Like talking to yourself, even silently, in English. It can feel really silly.
Oh, totally. It can feel super weird at first. But the fix is recognizing this is completely normal. It's actually a necessary part of learning. Every fluent speaker probably did this internally. If you're in public, whisper, or just move your lips, or do it purely mentally. When you're alone, practice out loud. Own the silliness. It means you're stretching yourself.
Okay, good perspective. Another one. Forgetting new words almost as soon as you learn them, especially when you try to use them in your thoughts.
Yeah, the leaky bucket problem.
Yeah.
The source has good strategies here, beyond just flashcards. Use spaced repetition apps, sure, but more importantly, when you learn a new word, immediately try to use it, like right away, in 3 to 5 different sentences, internally or out loud. The material really stresses this. What you use, you remember. What you teach, even just explaining it to yourself, you master. Actively using the word is key.
Right, makes sense. And finally, that feeling that you just don't sound native, even inside your own head. That inner critic can be really loud sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And this is where that shadowing technique is gold again. It's not just repeating words, it's copying the music, the tone, speed, rhythm. Record yourself shadowing. Compare it to the original. Try watching English stuff without subtitles sometimes. Train your ear to link sounds directly to meaning. The source even suggests creating an English identity or persona. How would that person think and speak? It can sometimes help lower the self-consciousness barrier.
Interesting idea, the persona. So, okay, those are the basic techniques and how to handle the common problems. Once you've got a bit of a foundation, the source material offers some more advanced exercises too, right? To really kind of supercharge your English thinking.
Yeah, these are designed to build more mental flexibility, more fluency, beyond just the daily labeling and basic internal chat.
Okay, what have we got?
One is the 60-second topic rant. Pick a topic, any topic, set a timer for 1 minute, and just speak continuously about it in English. The goal isn't perfection at all. It's just eliminating hesitation, keeping the English flowing without stopping to translate or edit yourself.
Sounds simple, but trying to talk nonstop for 60 seconds probably forces your brain to just find ways to keep going in English. Build speed, fluidity.
Exactly. Then there's the reverse role memory game. Watch a short conversation clip, maybe 30, 60 seconds long. Watch it a few times. Then try to recreate the conversation yourself, playing both parts, but in your own words. Focus on the meaning and the flow, not memorizing the exact lines.
Oh, that's clever. Activates listening and speaking spontaneously, forces your brain to process and then generate dialogue under a bit of pressure.
Then there's thought narration. This is quite powerful. As you do a specific activity, making breakfast, cleaning your room, narrate the process in English in your mind.
Like play-by-play commentary. Okay, first I'm getting the pan out, now I'm adding some oil. Okay, it's heating up.
Exactly. The source says this helps build really natural, everyday vocabulary and sentence structures. And a great tip they add, include your feelings or opinions too. I'm really tired this morning, or this coffee smells amazing. Makes it more real.
Okay, I like that. What's next?
Exercise 4. Problem solving in English. If you have a decision to make or just a simple problem to figure out, should I take this online course? How should I organize my closet? Try thinking through the whole process only in English.
So using English for more complex thinking, weighing options, planning, not just describing. Nice.
Mind mapping in English is next. Take a central idea, like my ideal weekend, put it in the middle, and then branch out with related ideas, adding English words, phrases, simple sentences around each branch.
Visualizing the connections. That seems great for brainstorming or even prepping for a conversation on a topic. Building clusters of English associations.
Internal dialogues is another good one. Imagine a short, simple conversation, ordering food, asking for directions, chatting with a colleague, and play out both sides of it in your head, all in English.
Really try to capture the tone, the feeling, right? Prepares your brain for the real thing, builds confidence for specific situations.
The Picture Story Challenge. Find a random picture online, in a magazine, whatever. Look at it for just a few seconds, then speak or write a short story about it in English. Who's in it? What's going on? What might happen next?
Ooh, I like that. Connects visual input straight to spontaneous English creation. Good practice for description and storytelling.
Teach back in English. This is a fantastic one for mastery. After you learn something new, a grammar point, new words, even something from a totally different subject, try explaining it out loud in English, like you were teaching it to someone else.
Right, because explaining something forces you to really understand it and process it deeply in English, solidifies your own knowledge.
The Voice Journal Challenge. Record a short voice note every day, maybe just 1-2 minutes long. Talk about your day, your feelings, your plans, all in English.
And listening back helps you notice your own patterns, catch mistakes you keep making, and actually track your progress. You kind of become your own coach.
Exactly. And finally, what if? Thinking. Ask yourself hypothetical questions. What if I moved to Canada next year? Or what if I could learn any skill instantly? And then think through the answers in detail, using your imagination, all in English.
That really pushes you to use more complex grammar, explore possibilities, practice longer internal thoughts. Wow.
Yeah, going through these advanced exercises, maybe picking just one or two to focus on regularly, can really speed up that shift from thinking about English to truly thinking in it.
Which brings us to the crucial final piece from the source material, actually building the habit. Because, the best techniques don't help if you don't use them consistently.
Absolutely. As the source points out, you don't need some special talent or perfect vocab to start. You just need small, repeatable daily actions. That's how you build this powerful routine.
Yeah.
Every single fluent speaker got there by doing the right things consistently.
So the first step is picking a specific time and trigger. Link your English thinking practice to something you already do every single day without fail.
Right. Like, while my coffee brews, I'll describe the kitchen in English. Or, right after I finish my commute, I'll spend 5 minutes thinking about my day's plan in English. The existing habit acts as the reminder, the trigger for the new one.
Okay. Then the source really emphasizes this. Start small. Like literally just 2 minutes a day. Seriously. In the shower, waiting in line, on a short walk. The consistency matters more than the duration at first. Beating that daily rhythm is key.
Step 3. Track your progress. Even just a simple mental check mark or a quick note in a journal. Yep, thought in English today about X keeps you accountable, makes the habit feel real.
Step 4. Reinforcing the environment again. Surround yourself with English. Change device languages, listen to English podcasts, music, watch movies. Make English just, present, so your brain is always absorbing it.
Find a speaking partner, or, and this is important, be your own partner, talking to yourself, narrating, practicing those dialogues. It chips away at that fear of sounding silly or making mistakes, makes speaking English feel more normal.
Step 6. Repeat and refresh. Don't get stuck thinking about, your breakfast every single day. Change your topics regularly, maybe every week or two. Keep it interesting, keep it relevant to your actual life and thoughts.
And finally, step 7. This might be the most crucial mindset shift. Make mistakes and smile about it. You will make mistakes. You'll forget words, feel awkward, mess up grammar. That's not failure. The source is super clear. Those are signs of growth. Confidence here isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up and practicing anyway. Knowing mistakes are just part of learning.
Yeah, the material even suggests trying a 21-day challenge. For 3 weeks, commit. Just 2 minutes a day, consciously thinking in English using one technique. Track it. It'll feel weird at first, probably clunky, but you'll likely find your thoughts start flowing a bit better, sentences come a bit more naturally, that stuck feeling starts to fade. After 21 days, you've started wiring in a new habit.
Yeah. This whole deep dive into the source material, it's really highlighted how vital this mental shift is, hasn't it? Moving from thinking about English to actually thinking in English. It reframes fluency completely, not just speaking correctly, but building that direct channel between your thoughts and the language itself.
It's a really powerful idea, and it makes you wonder if the language you use shapes your internal thoughts, your perception. How might actively choosing to process your day in English start to subtly change how you see things, how you react, how you interact with the world around you?
It's a fascinating thought to end on, isn't it? That this isn't just about getting better at English. It could potentially be about experiencing your life through a slightly different lens.
Hopefully this exploration of the source material has given you some solid strategies, maybe some real motivation to start making that shift in your own thinking. Think about which techniques really clicked for you, maybe look back at the material you shared, and just start experimenting. Start small. We'll see you in the next deep dive.